Hey YouTube fans, this is BGA, and just to start off by apologizing to you guys. You know, ever since I've gotten into this new hobby of vaping, I've been putting down the drippers, the systems that require you to refill your or to resaturate your cotton wick every 10-15 puffs roughly. I never really thought I would get into that. This all started for me, if you look at the history of my videos, this all started for me as a smoking cessation tool, and like many other people, turned into a hobby, and just getting more and more kit. So I showed you guys last time. I don't know if you saw the ring that came from Provari, so I'll just show you that again just in case. But this is the Provari, however they pronounce it. This is their version 2.5, which I bought because, going off of their website, this was the latest product that they make, and I bought it directly through them. And I did purchase the extension cap also to allow the use of 18650 batteries. And at the time, I did not know that there was a Provari 3 already out, just on a different website. Somebody at the vape shop asked me which Provari I had, because with the optional flat cap on, which just sits on top, it looks kind of like the Provari 3, kind of. But if you want to look at the Provari 3, great. I think that's a variable wattage, whereas the Provari 2.5 is a variable voltage. Mod, if I was still looking for a variable voltage or variable wattage mod similar to these, I would probably look at that further. However, the next variable mod that I do want is the RDNA, which is made by Vapor Shark. They make them in like batches of 50. And I just ran out. They just ran out at my local vape shop, and unfortunately, the owner wasn't in to save me one. But anyway, not a huge deal. It's not like I'm lacking equipment here. I kind of, in my last video, I lauded the praises of the K-Fun light. In this particular build, it can be used on the Provari, I believe. Let's check. This thing is so annoying to turn on, but you know what? That one light that one button feature, some people like it, some people don't. I personally do. So anyway, so the this current K-Fun light clone, a EH Pro, was built to. Now it's giving me an error. Damn it. It was built to, I'll tell you exactly, 1.8 ohms. So normally between like 1.5 to 1.8 ohms, I'm somewhat okay, as long as I keep the voltage in the, yeah, it's throwing out all sorts of readings, because I have kind of a crazy build that I just had my vape shop build for me there, and I may need to clean the contacts out. But if I stay in the oh, that's why my power was way up. if I stay in like the 4.3 range, as far as volts, I find that I can get a lot of latitude out of the resistance on these rebuildables and the Provari version 2.5. So yeah, great device, great all day vape, holds about 4.5 mil of e-juice. This is the clone of the K-Fun Lite version 2, so it does have the adjustable airflow screw at the bottom, the redesigned drip tip, a few other improvements that I don't know about. But yeah, tastes good. In it, I have one of the Alpha Omega. Anyway, yeah, I think it's the Monkey Music by Omega. It's a 18 milligram strength. No, it's a 12 milligram strength. A lot of people at the vape shop were kind of shocked. Even a couple of the people that had been in the pro cloud chasing sport, that I could take lung hits off of 12 milligram juice. But I was a pretty heavy smoker, enjoyed smoking. So for me, I really, at this point, it's not too harsh of a throat hit, especially with the juice. I tend to choose the sweeter, fruitier flavors that they have to offer. Again, reiterating, the only reason that they have these flavored options is to help people who already smoke traditional tobacco cigarettes transition to a more pleasing, pleasant, safer system of nicotine delivery if you choose a strength with nicotine. I'm not going to get too much into the debate whether they're safe, harmful, yada yada yada. We certainly know that tobacco cigarettes aren't safe, so at least there's a possibility, and you're dealing with a lot less ingredients. I think the most complex e-juice that Five Ponds makes, which is one of the premier manufacturers, has 11 ingredients, and they're extremely proud of that many. So yeah, and then you look at the ingredients that carry the flavor, being propylene glycol, vegetable glycerin, or a combination of the two, and those are both food grade materials. That as long as the manufacturer is purchasing food grade or above food grade pharmaceutical, etc., your vapes as safe as can be. They even, I think it's Five Ponds, has a e-juice with nuts that has the essence of nut oil in it, and that one actually has a label for people with nut allergies. So we're talking about real deal, authentic products. I don't buy cheap e-juice. As someone who would gladly spend $700-800 on a Dunhill pipe, and believe me, I had quite the collection at one point when I was smoking pipes. The transition to vaping in general is extremely economical. Even if you're a $10 a day, a pack a day smoker, there's an option for you to make things more economical, taste better, improve your health, wealth, life, etc. So, I know last time that I talked to you guys, I was praising the K-Fun, you know, on the Five Pawns website, which is pretty much my go-to e-juice brand, primarily because I like their one flavor, Gambit, really fruity, sweet flavor. But anyway, they have an incredible marketing team. Oh, here, if you look on the bottom of the K-Fun light, you now see 2 screws, plus the Svamesto logo above the air screw focus. There we go. And then your fill screw down here, and it comes with a little screwdriver to fill it on up. I'm not going to take it apart because there's tons of there's tons of videos on YouTube about how to take them apart, and even more ways to recoil them, rewick them, and I am just getting into all that, so not something you even want to be learning from me. There are some, I'm not going to say it's dangerous, but there are some security measures to take into precaution. So, this is a great combo right here. If the K-Fun is built not too low of ohms, so certainly no sub-ohm vaping. I think anything between like 1.5, you start to get a little sketchy, and then your power level has to be low. So on the Provari 2.5, and a lot of the regulated mods are the same. They do not like to get into the sorry, it's just so good. The K-Fun light, undisputed by people who don't even sell them or have one. Even if someone's just tried them, it does give the best overall flavor profile for a juice. The K-Fun Light 2 comes with this awesome looking drip tip with dual O-rings. Comes with a complete set of replacement O-rings. Can't say enough about this. This would be an RTA, rebuildable tank atomizer. I'm still not sure. But anyway, one of the apologies that I want to make to you is I kept downing the Nautilus Aspire Mini. It's got this new horizontal bottom coil. It's got like a ceramic wick. First couple puffs on it weren't that great. I was using it on a Nautilus Aspire 2 battery, so kind of a thin battery, where I had to use an adapter to get it to work with my Kangaroo Pro Tank Mini 3. Where I did not have to use an adapter to get it to work with my Kangaroo Pro Tank Mini 3. The drawback being you can't adjust the airflow on the Kangaroo. And I originally liked it, the airflow, the taste. As far as my last video, that was my go-to tank. But I didn't want to give up hope on this Aspire Mini. So let's see what I have. The Aspire Mini that I have on here is great. My battery's at 3.8. The Aspire Mini that I have on here right now is hold on one second. It's doing a Provari scroll thing. Okay. Oh damn! I just passed it. Okay, the atomizer I have on here right now is reading at 2 ohms. So that's definitely a safe range for the Provari to handle. I currently have this filled with 5 Five Ponds Grandmaster e-juice, which is pretty complex flavor and not something that I would normally enjoy vaping on. If you know me, I'm more of like a tropical mango fruit custard type of vape person, but after a long day, having a good old glass of Jack Daniels on the rocks, and it pairs really well. That's what I should do. Wine and food pairings with e-juice. Idea. Okay. Anyway, so that's my first apology. This tank, especially with the adjustable airflow, I mean, if you want to take lung hits, if you want to take mouth lung hits, however you smoke, you can adjust the airflow for you, the power, the temperature. The coils, everything. I'm still slowly using up the menthol e-juice that I filled my original tank, which was the full-size Aspire. That's still filled with cheap menthol e-juice. So I don't want to just throw it away, but I'm going to wait until I'm going to slowly use that up, and then then give it a thorough cleaning and change it to one of the new stock coils and a higher quality e-juice, and let you guys have a comparison between the Nautilus Mini and the full size. But I think this is a great looking package, and for someone into aesthetics, I mean, if especially without that end cap. So pretend that bottom extrusion isn't even there. You know what? It's not going to be. Okay, so pretend it's flat. That's all that's really noticeable, that has to be noticeable, is the tank. And if you get it in a dark color, it's a pretty discreet option. One thing about the Provari, they do require the batteries with a positive contact post, which is kind of nice because you always know where your positive pole is, so you can feel that. Whereas on like some of the Sony VT4 battery, I don't know if this is a VT4 or not, but the Sony VT batteries, you can't. The new Samsung, which is charging right now, so I can't show you, but Samsung just released a new amazing battery that I will be using in something I'm about to show you. So I've shown you the K-Fun, I've shown you the Nautilus Mini, I've shown you my updated admiration for the Provari, and now I want to show you what I got into today. So should I make another video? No, and I'm just gonna keep going. Okay, so today I went into the vape shop, and today's goal of the vape shop was to have them rebuild my K-Fun light, and for use on the Provari, and to get a couple more bottles of the juice that they had sold me that was great. So I went in with that purpose, and I was sitting there at the sampler bar, which appeared to be, I don't know all of the mod names, especially the clone names, etc., but it seemed to be that they had a bunch of K-Fun lights without the drip tip. They were actually smaller than this, so I don't know the actual name. I know that Five Ponds recommends using the K-Fun light for their tasting bar, but I guess they can be kind of expensive if you have hundreds of juices. So anyway, they had something smaller than this with more of a clear section, all in 0 milligram nicotine strength. So you really couldn't see the color of the e-juice that well, or in my opinion, get that well of a taste. So, but just out of curiosity, while they were rebuilding my K-Fun, I took my Provari and just tried screwing their atomizers onto it just to sample a couple of the e-juices. And what happened? I kept getting basically the error code for resistance too low. So I got really frustrated. And we all know what happens when I get frustrated. It usually involves me spending money. And I said to them, I said, all right, I want something that I can come in here. I can sample every juice. I don't have to worry about playing with settings, buttons, whatever. And I always wanted a mechanical mod. I had an appeal to their coloring, to their styling, etc. So what I did was I asked them what their cheapest one was, and they showed me these like anodized aluminum looking mods for like $30-40, and I just couldn't bring myself to it. So I said, all right, well, what do you have a little bit nicer than that? And they said, well, not too much a little bit nicer, but in our cases here we have some of our mods, and they showed me this, the skeleton key. And for anybody who knows anything about mods, is well over $1,000 mod usually. For the unboxing, the grand unboxing, front flap folds down, and the box sort of opens, and there's this foam up top. There's nothing in there now. There's a cleaning cloth that just fell out, and then you have your parts. So I'm just going to assemble this for you real quick and show you what she looks like. Oh, and it does come with different adapters for different size batteries, etc. And they adjusted the terminals for me there at the store, because that's not something I wanted to be messing with. So then after I chose my mod, they kindly asked me what type of tip I wanted to go with. If I wanted to go with another K-Fun, just built to a lower ohms, or if I wanted to get into dripping. And I figured, well, I already have a K-Fun, so why buy two? So I could have got like a Russian or something like that, but on here, I don't know if you can see, you've got these really cool looking on-off oh man. So you've got your key on the body, and then down here, when it's powered on the fire, you get these neat little logos. It's like one says Solidio Gloria 479. Another one has like a shield logo. I can't tell what the other one is, but anyway, yeah, pretty nice. And then on the bottom it's a skeleton key, and there's your logo. Cool. So my first mech mod, my first non-regulated, ultra dangerous, explosive piece of like basically a pipe bomb in my hand, except that it has vent holes at the bottom, and yeah, I'm not even gonna get into that. So then I needed an atomizer head, so I figured I already had the K-Fun light, and they said, well, if you get another K-Fun light, we can build that one to a lot lower ohm, so a lot less resistance. So it heats up faster, you get a hotter vapor, more vapor, etc. So I kind of was like, well, if I'm going to go this way, I might as well go for the extreme. And I've been always fascinated with the builds on YouTube of the dual coil setups. So I got this VPRS Thundercloud, and I did repackage all this, so forgive me if it's not perfect packaging. And I got a specialized drip tip for that. I don't think these come with drip tips. I think it's made by like JRS or something. Anyway, it's pretty thick. Took apart the whole thing right there. The whole top cap. But yeah, that's how well it stays in. It's got 2 O-rings. And then you've got your build deck. And as you can see on my build deck right now, I've got a dual coil cotton wick set up. And put just the airflow is completely open. I'm going to line that airflow right up with the coils when I put it back on. Make sure it's completely open. And you see you do have a adjustment screw down there, but they did that all for me. You get some extra O-rings. I've seen baggies like this before, never with O-rings in them. But anyway, we'll just ignore that. So I'm going to thread. First, I'm going to lock this, and you can tell it's locked because you can't see any of those pretty little icons on the bottom of the device. It doesn't have one of those like screw out, screw all the way back in. No, you can just tell easily. I'm just going to double check that I'm still lined up with the coils, and I am. Air channel is open. Now, as I said, it was highly recommended that I purchase a Samsung, one of the newer Samsung batteries that they just 18650s that they just came out with. I did. That's on the charging dock. I'll show you those in a later video. I've got this filled up with Omega Vape, Monkey Music. This is a 12 milligram juice. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a 12 milligram juice. The guys at the vape shop recommended that I didn't go above a 3, but they had already sold me that for my K-Fun. So he was like, well, if you can do if you can use a mech mod with 12, all the more power to you, but it may it may burn. You know, you may get a lot of throat hit out of that, and everybody in the shop was amazed. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing by my ability to do a throat hit off of it. And I was just like, yeah, that's what you get when you've smoked cigarettes for one too many years. So anyway, to finish out this video, I'm just going to take a vape from this, not with the battery that I bought for it, but with a Sony battery, just because the battery I bought for it, they said to let it have like a full 3 hours of charging time before you use it, and I just bought all this stuff, so I wanted to get this video up here. I've been so excited about it. Anyway, let me just show you what this little mod can do. So yeah, vapor production, really not a factor. Yeah, I haven't had a nicotine buzz since I was like 9, and nice pretty little nicotine buzz there. So definitely recommend the gear I have. The VPRS Thundercloud is not a clone. Skeleton Key is a clone. Have no idea who it's by. The original version of that, if you could even find them for sale, is well over $1,000. Couldn't see any justification in that, and it wasn't there at the store. So my my K-Fun Light version 2 stainless steel is a clone. I did find out. It is made by EH Pro. My Provari is authentic. My Provari adapter ring is authentic. That was right from the Provari site, as was the Provari. My Nautilus Aspires, my Kanga Pro tanks, all authentic. So really the only not truly authentic thing that I have here, besides the K-Fun, which I hear is completely identical to the new version, if not somewhat better, but I've got this Mech mod that is pretty cool. It takes a little getting used to using the bottom button, especially the way it's designed on the skeleton key. I don't think it has anything to do with it being a clone. I think it's just how it was designed. You know, it's got to be like lined up perfectly in order for it to fire. So yeah, that's my latest vape video. Keep watching them. Thanks. BPGA out. Whereas the Provari 2.5 is a variable voltage mod. If I was still looking for a variable voltage or variable wattage mod similar to these, I would probably look at that further. However, the next variable mod that I do want is the RDNA, which is made by Vaporshark. They make them in like batches of 50. I just ran out. They just ran out of my local vape shop, and unfortunately, the owner wasn't in to save me one. But anyway, not a huge deal. It's not like I'm lacking equipment here. So I kind of, in my last video, I lauded the praises of the K-Fun light. Somewhat okay, as long as I keep the voltage in the, yeah, it's throwing out all sorts of readings, because I have kind of a crazy build that I just had my vape shop build for me there, and I may need to clean the contacts out. But if I stay in the oh, that's why my power was way up. If I stay in like the 4.3 range, as far as volts, I find that I can get a lot of latitude out of the resistance on these rebuildables and the Provari version 2.5. Hey YouTube fans, this is BGA, and just to start off by apologizing to you guys. You know, ever since I've gotten into this new hobby of vaping, I've been putting down the drippers, the systems that require you to refill your or to resaturate your cotton wick every 10-15 puffs roughly. I never really thought I would get into that. This all started for me, if you look at the history of my videos, this all started for me as a smoking cessation tool, and like many other people, turned into a hobby, and just getting more and more kit. So I showed you guys last time. I don't know if you saw the ring that came from Provari, so I'll just show you that again just in case. But this is the Provari, however they pronounce it. This is their version 2.5, which I bought because, going off of their website, this was the latest product that they make, and I bought it directly through them. And I did purchase the extension cap also to allow the use of 18650 batteries. And at the time, I did not know that there was a Provari 3 already out, just on a different website. Somebody at the vape shop asked me which Provari I had, because with the optional flat cap on, which just sits on top, it looks kind of like the Provari 3, kind of. But if you want to look at the Provari 3, great. I think that's a variable wattage. In this particular build, it can be used on the Provari, I believe. Let's check. This thing is so annoying to turn on, but you know what? That one that one button feature, some people like it, some people don't. I personally do. So anyway, so the this current K-Fun light clone, a EH Pro, was built to Now it's giving me an error. Damn it. It was built to, I'll tell you exactly, 1.8 ohms. So normally between like 1.5 to 1.8 ohms, I'm